For the very first time, scientists have managed to open a window into one of the most mysterious and critical periods of human life, the first 2 weeks after conception. Okay, let's dive into this incredible new model that's changing pretty much everything we thought we knew about the very, very beginning of a pregnancy. It seems like a simple question, right? An embryo meets the uterus and boom, pregnancy begins. But what really happens in that moment? How does a tiny microscopic ball of cells know exactly what to do? How to attach, how to burrow in, and kick off one of the most complex processes in all of nature? Well, the truth is, for decades, that entire process has been a complete black box. It all happens deep inside the human body where we just can't see it directly. And that's left this massive gap in our understanding of why some pregnancies take hold so perfectly, and honestly, why so many others fail. And that really brings us right to the heart of the problem that scientists have been banging their heads against for years, the sheer mystery of implantation itself. So, let's just be clear. What exactly is implantation? Well, put simply, it's that one critical moment where a free-floating embryo makes physical contact and latches onto the wall of the uterus. This is it. This is the official start of pregnancy. It's the moment that changes everything. And here's why this is so important. This single step is unbelievably delicate. Implantation failure is one of the biggest reasons for early pregnancy loss, and it's a massive roadblock for people going through IVF treatments. So figuring this out isn't just some academic puzzle, it affects millions and millions of people very personally. So, to finally peek inside that black box, researchers came up with a totally brilliant solution. They decided, if we can't study it in the body, let's build a functional model of it in the lab. A kind of womb in a dish. So, how on earth did they build it? Well, the process started by taking 2 key types of cells from biopsies of healthy human donors. Then, they carefully layered those cells in a special gel, almost like they were building a tiny, living sculpture, creating a 3D structure that mimics the uterine wall. The goal here was simple but also incredibly ambitious. Create an environment so realistic that a human embryo could actually implant into it, just like it would in the body. They wanted to make the invisible finally visible. So the big question is, did it work? Well, let's get to the results, because this is where we get to see how this amazing model let scientists watch life take root for the very first time ever. Now, to really get what they saw, it helps to know the 4 key stages of implantation. The easiest way to think about it is like a seed planting itself in soil. First, you've got apposition. That's when the embryo just gets close. Then comes adhesion, where it actually sticks on. Next up is implantation, where it starts to burrow into the surface. And finally, invasion, where it really digs in and takes root. And what's so cool is that their model captured the whole process beautifully. You can see it playing out here. The embryo approaches, it attaches, and then it physically breaks through the surface to dig into the tissue below, establishing a real physical connection. And this wasn't just a one-off success or fluke. The model was remarkably effective. Get this. Researchers found that a whopping 60% of the human embryos they placed in the model successfully implanted. That was the proof they needed. That told them their womb in a dish was the real deal. But just seeing the process happen wasn't enough. The model allowed them to ask a much deeper question. What's the secret sauce that makes it all work? And what they found was something amazing. A kind of secret cellular handshake. A hidden conversation that is absolutely essential for success. Yeah, it turns out successful implantation isn't just about physical contact. It is an active, two-way dialogue. The embryo and the uterine lining are constantly sending these little chemical signals back and forth. And if that conversation doesn't happen just right, the whole process just grinds to a halt. So what is the secret handshake? Well, the researchers pinpointed a critical interaction. The embryo sends out a chemical message, this protein called PROS1. Think of it like the embryo holding out its hand, and the cells of the uterine lining have a specific receiver, a matching glove, if you will, called AXL, ready to grab it. The embryo offers the signal, and the uterus has to accept it for things to move forward. And here is how they proved just how vital this all was. The scientists used a drug to block that AXL receiver on the uterus, basically preventing it from hearing the embryo's message. And what happened? The embryo's growth just stalled out. It could attach to the surface, but it couldn't properly take root. That handshake is completely non-negotiable. Now, this is all fascinating biology for sure, but the real power of this research is in its potential impact on human health. So let's talk about why this really matters. By finally understanding this black box, we can start to tackle some of the biggest challenges in reproductive health. I mean, this could lead to new ways to improve IVF success rates. It could give us answers about the root causes of early miscarriages. It might even help us understand the origins of serious complications later in pregnancy, like preeclampsia. This even opens the door to creating personalized models to test fertility treatments for individual patients. For decades, the very first step of our own existence has been a total mystery. But with this new window that scientists have built, we can finally begin to understand it, to nurture it, and maybe, just maybe, to help ensure that every potential life gets the healthy, strong start it deserves.